Welcome back to Making Money Matter, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kerry Stevenson, and today I've asked Donald Garner. He's the Managing Director of Iltani Resources. The ASX code is ILT. Now, Iltani Resources only listed in June of this year, so they're the newbie on the block, but I recently saw Donald up at the Noosa Mining Conference. We had a long chat about his vision for the company, the strategy going forward, and how he is going to create value for shareholders in the long term. So I decided to reach out to Donald and get him on here for you, my beautiful community, so that you can understand where his vision is going. So Donald, good to see you. Welcome to Making Money Matter.
Hi, Kerry, and thank you for having me on your podcast.
It's great to see you. Let's talk firstly, give a brief overview. First time you've been on the program. Give us a brief overview of who are Iltani Resources.
We are a company that's focused on critical raw materials. We listed in the 30th of June 2023, but we actually came into inception at the start of 2021, just after I resigned from Red River. So I resigned from Red River to start Iltani. We pulled together our portfolio of assets through application. Then we moved to list in 2022. But by the time we came to the market, this was the time of all the issues around inflation. Putin had just invaded Ukraine, so the market basically fell. We had to pull the IPO. So we pulled the IPO at the end of 2022. We had the opportunity to acquire the Herberton project from the administrators of Red River. So we put the Herberton project into Iltani. We restarted the IPO process at the beginning of 2023 with Canary Capital and Sanlam as our brokers. And we were fortunate enough to list on the 30th of June 2023.
Right at the end of the financial year. Now, I've just got a quick question for you before we get, because I'm going to talk to you about Herberton, but Iltani, where'd you get the name Iltani from? I'm curious.
One of Paul Hart, who's the managers of Canary Capital, one of his colleagues chose the name for us. I'm not very good at choosing names, and when you look at all the names that you could choose, most of them have already been chosen or are companies in existence. So I think Iltani, when I went online, she was a noblewoman in one of the, the Sumerian dynasties who was involved with trading copper. So maybe that's where the name.
Put a comment down below, ladies and gentlemen. If you know what Iltani is, pop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video as well. All right, let's get into the fact that you just said you were formerly with Red River Resources.
Yep. From
what I understand, the Herberton project, which I want to go into, it's a big focus for you at the moment. That used to be with Red River Resources.
So Paul Hart and I, we basically set up Red River in 2014. Red River was trading as a shell in the ASX. So Paul and I bought 70% of the shell for, I think it was $250,000 or $300,000. So we got together a group of investors. I was one of those investors who kicked in. We each kicked in 50 grand to buy the shell. So we bought the shell. Then we used the shell to acquire the Thalanga base metal project of the administrators of Kagara.
Right.
This is in 2014. We then brought in a management team to run Red River. I stepped aside, became executive director. Red River brought Thalanga back into production. Then Red River bought the Hillgrove project in New South Wales. Plus, Red River picked up the Herberton project in Northern Queensland. I left Red River at the start of 2021, and by the end of 2022, due to various circumstances, Red River was in administration.
Okay, but you left. So just to be clear, you'd left Red River before it went into administration.
Yeah. I left at the start of 2021, and it went into administration August 2022.
Okay, all right. I don't want to waste too much time on this, but I wanted just to be clear that you bought the Herberton project, which is the one we're about to talk about, into Red River.
Yeah, I brought it into Red River, and I thought I brought it into Red River because I thought it was a really good project, and as did the geologists, Steve Harper and Charlotte Brooks, that I was working with, and so we pushed that project forward. Then, for various reasons, we all ended up leaving Red River, and the project just sat on the shelf. So when Red River went into administration, Red River was essentially at that time, when it went into administration, it was three asset groups. So you had Herberton, Thalanga, and Hillgrove.
Yep.
We knew what we wanted when we wanted Herberton, so we went in and made the administrators a cash offer for Herberton, so they took the cash offer. So we went in, took Herberton out of the sales process while everyone else is looking at Thalanga and Hillgrove.
Yeah. All right. So I want to know why Herberton? What's the attraction? Why are you so focused on this one?
Basically, it's the key. The Herberton project's got multiple targets, multiple projects within it, but the key one we're focused on is Orient. Orient is a large scale precious metal rich epithermal system. So by precious metals I mean silver, plus there's indium there as well. So it's silver, lead, zinc, indium, large scale. It's at least the epithermal vein system outcrops over at least 4 square kilometers, and there's likely to be an intrusion stroke porphyry at depth driving the whole system.
Okay.
So it had previously been mined in the 1910, 1920, and there was some work done in the mid-80s, but the work focused on the high-grade veins, and we were of the belief that there was a larger envelope of mineralization around the high-grade veins, and that's what our drilling has so far proved.
Okay, so you just said a minute ago indium.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I don't know what indium is.
Indium is a metal. Its current price is about $350 a kilo. Its main use is in indium tin oxide, which is used in flat screens, mobile phones like this.
Okay.
So when you touch the screen, there's a coating of indium tin oxide behind the screen, and it recognizes, because it's electrically conductive, it recognizes where your finger's touching the screen, and hence it sends a signal to the chip in the mobile phone.
There you go.
Indium has other uses, but what key for us is it's been recognised as critical raw material by Queensland, by the federal government, by the US, and other jurisdictions. So as it's a critical raw material, it means as we advance the project forward, we can access various levels of grants and funding to help us commercialise Orient. And we believe we're sitting on the most exciting silver indium, well, the only silver indium project in a listed company in Australia, and it's looking very good so far.
Okay, when you say it's looking very good so far, what's caught your eye? You don't have a JORC resource on this yet, do you?
No, there's a small historic non-JORC resource, but no, we don't have a JORC resource. But what we do have is the first stage of drilling, which we completed in August, is we tested Orient East and Orient West. They are 2 kilometers apart, and we were getting intersections, 30, 40 meters up to 200 grams silver equivalent at both Orient East and Orient West. The intersections we were getting we were drilling veins. The veins outcrop, so the intersections are open along strike both directions, open down dip, and open up to the surface. The vein systems outcrop on ridge lines, so it means if we were to mine, the strip ratio would be lower because we'd be looking to do it through an open pit scenario. So now we know it's there. It's a question of going along strike to test the extension of these vein systems, and also there's also a number of stockwork zones that we haven't drilled yet, which was mapped by a geologist called Nick Tate. So the stockwork zones are high priority targets for us because the stockwork zones are bulk mining targets. Ironically, when the old boys mined Orient, they were after the high-grade veins. So where the old workings are the high-grade veins. There's a few areas where there's more than a few areas, but there's a lot of areas where they went in and tested the stockworks, but they weren't interested in mining the stockworks. So
why is that?
Because they were after direct shipping ore in the 1920s, 1930s. So they wanted veins, this wide. Well,
how big's that fish?
Yeah, it was big, 2, 3, 4 meters wide, so they could mine the ore, put the ore in a bullet cart and send it to smelt. So they weren't interested in mining, stockworks where you've got a thin veins, everywhere. But for us, they're great targets, and we've got a number of those to drill as well. So ultimately, we're going to start drilling again shortly, end of November. So we're going to do a stage program. So we're going to drill probably the end of November to mid-December. Then we're going to demobilise in anticipation of the wet season because we're in northern Queensland. Once the wet season abates, April, May, we'll be back and we'll finish off the programme. By then, we'll have a better idea of the extent of the mineralisation, how big the systems are, and we can start to have an internal view on a potential tonnage. Then we will come back and probably start to think about resource drilling as well. But this is only drilling the shallow level mineralisation.
Yeah.
We're also going to seek to do a number of deep holes to test the system at depth to see
how deep are you talking?
500 meters plus.
Okay.
To see what happens and if we can find the mineralizing intrusion at depth. And we're also to see if there's any change in the mineralogy of the veins as you get, so where the veins have lead zinc in them, that's essentially cooler temperature veins.
Yep.
So we believe as we move back down towards the source of the mineralization, it will get hotter. And as it gets hotter, we hopefully see more copper come into the system. So we'd be interested to see if the lead zinc mineralization transitions to copper-rich mineralization at depth.
Okay, so just let me be clear at the moment. So you listed in June. I think you've done. Have you just focused on Herberton?
Look, yeah, we've done some reconnaissance work up at Herberton as well. So we've drilled Orient. We've done some reconnaissance mapping and sampling. By reconnaissance, I mean we've got a really good consulting geo who works for us or works with us. He will just go out into the field and look for things that interest him. He'll look for historical anomalies, historical workings, and he'll go off and sample those. So when we got him to do the reconnaissance mapping, he went to the north of Orient, an area called Boon Moo, and he finds multiple tourmaline breccia pipes, which are indicative of an intrusion at depth. Plus, he came across a epithermal vein system that had never been mapped before, sampled or mined. So he like not as part of his mapping, he like took a sample off the vein system, noted it, and kept on going. And he just said to us, "Oh yeah, I found this vein system. I took a sample on it," and we were like, "Oh yeah, that's good, thanks." But when the assays came back, that sample ran 7.8 grams gold, which is
I love gold.
yeah, which is really good because it'd never been worked, never mined, never sampled before. So it's not like he went to a waste dump or an old mine and took something off the waste dump, knowing in a way what the assay would be. He just sampled the vein, moved on. So we've been back there. We've taken more samples there. The vein system is much more extensive than we thought, and on the back of that, we've put an application into the north to tie up more of the vein system. So we're waiting for those assay results to come back.
Is that just trying to put a picture for myself and our viewers out there? This area, do you think it's just a very large belt system, or is it? Because when you said 7.8 grams per tonne gold, that's just from that sample.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, is that potentially the same sort of system, or do you think it's something completely different?
Look, it's related to the same event that created Orient, but the two systems aren't linked, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
There's a big Caldera complex there, so you've got intrusions at depth. Sorry, you've got like hot rocks coming in at depth that drove both these systems. Ultimately, right. You'd have to date both systems to work out if they're created by the same mineralizing event.
How big is this area, the Herberton area?
We've got about 340 square kilometers of ground.
It's big.
Yeah, it is big. But in comparison to some other companies, we don't have that much ground, but we value quality over quantity.
Okay.
So we're really happy with what we've got.
So I kind of want to know if it's 340 square kilometers. How do you know where to drill? Is that just by sending out your reconnaissance guy and he comes back and says, "Oh, I think there's something," because it's expensive.
Yeah, look, we've got a number. We've got Orient East, Orient West. So that was previously mined, previously drilled. So we knew Orient was there. We just didn't know how big the system was. We've got Isabel Extended, which is actually at Herberton. That's Isabel's Australia's highest grade indium deposit. It's a massive sulfide zinc silver indium pipe. When I was with RVR, we were getting rock chip samples there up to 5,000 grams per tonne indium. So
is that good? I don't know.
So if indium's 350 a kilo at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you take the silver price and turn it into kilos, silver is about $750 a kilo.
Yep.
So if you think indium's half silver, so if we were getting 5,000 gram indium rock chips, that's roughly equivalent to 2,500 gram silver
Yeah,
in rock
pretty good.
chips.
Yep.
It's okay. There's another deposit called antimony reward, which is as its name suggests, is an antimony vein system that was previously drilled. Plus, we've got this Bunmu epithermal system that we've discovered.
Okay. Talk to us about it, because we don't have a lot of time left. I want to talk you've got a northern base metals project, which is not that far away from Herberton. And in terms of focus and attention, is all the attention on Herberton, or are you going to spend some time on the northern base metals project?
Look, yeah, we are. That's sort of the next cab off the rank. We, like I said earlier, we only listed in June, so we've only really been going for 5 months.
Pressuring him, ladies and gentlemen.
So, as part of the IPO, we applied for the grant at the Northern Base Metal Project. So there's 2 targets there: Mount Mist and Fruehurst. Mount Mist was discovered by CRA in 1994. It's two plunging lenses of massive sulfide mineralization, probably Broken Hill style mineralization.
Okay.
The discovery hole that CRA drilled, they got 9 meters at 1.2% copper, 8% lead, 12% zinc, and 100 grams silver from 33 meters. So that's in lens 1. There's 4 drill intercepts in lens 1. Lens 2, best intercept is 22 meters at 0.5% copper, 3% lead, 5% zinc, 52 grams silver. So 2 lenses, 4 drill intercepts in both lenses. It's last held by a Canadian company. They had put together a drill plan to test these lenses at depth and test the repetitions along strike. But due to some corporate transaction in Canada, they didn't drill those holes. So nothing's happened to Mount Mist since 2011. So we picked up the ground, and when we spoke with the Canadian company, they were thankful. They were generous enough to give us all their information.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So we've got all the work they did. We've got their drill designs, etc., etc. So we can pick up where they left off. Plus, there's a copper vein system at an area called Fruehurst. This is also discovered by CRA the same time they discovered Mount Mist. So they did first pass drilling in 1995. They drilled 9 RC holes. The best result was 3 meters at 6% copper from 31 meters down hole, and They walked away because CRA was Rio Tinto. Yep. So they were looking for big deposits. So both Mount Mist and Fruehurst were too small for them. So nothing has happened at Fruehurst since CRA drilled those holes in 1995.
But you're coming into the wet season, so nothing much is going to be happening up there until the middle of next year. Would that be right?
Oh, yeah, probably April, May. Look, okay. The wet season, we don't know how. The past years has been very, very wet, but this year we're not sure how wet it's going to be. But the wet season coincides with an increase in temperatures.
Yeah.
So it's not the nicest time of year to be working up there. So we've got a project in Tasmania that we can work on while we're sort of not doing work in Queensland, and we've also got a lot of historical data we can work through as well.
And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when it's hot up in Queensland, it's really hot because that's where I'm based now. Let's go south then. Let's go south to Tassie before we run out of time. What's the project in Tassie you've got?
So I'm pretty familiar with the Mount Reid volcanics. Mount Reid volcanics is a volcanic belt in Tassie. So the Mount Reids contain probably the highest value base metal deposits in Australia. Helier, Hugh River, Rosebery, which is MMG's mine. Rosebery's been operating for, I think, 95 years or more continuously.
Wow.
Plus you've got Mount Lyell. So these are all VHMS volcanic hosted massive sulfide deposits. So the volcanic hosted massive sulfide deposits, they're all hosted in this formation called the Mount Reids, and they're all the same time horizon in the Mount Reids. So even though the different styles of mineralization, they're all formed by the same event. So you can trace that time horizon through the Mount Reid formation, and the time horizon is being given the name the Holy Host, because it contains all these deposits. So as part of what I do, I've got areas in Australia that I like, that I think are prospective. So every so often, every week or two, I go to the various state websites to see what the ground's like, who's holding, who's dropping, what's vacant, is there anything vacant that we want. And when I went to the MRT, Mineral Resources Tasmania website, there's a block of ground between Rosebery and Hellyer Q River that was vacant. So the holy host that hosts the Rosebery deposit and the Hellyer Q River deposits runs through this area. It was vacant, so we applied for the ground.
And you got it?
Yeah, we got it, yeah.
Okay, so what have you done so far? And again, ladies and gentlemen, they only listed in June, so I'm pushing a little bit. So
we applied for the ground in November 2022, and it was granted, I think, 2-3 months ago.
Oh.
So we're just pulling together all the historical data that's been done. We'll bring that into a database. With Bruce Gemmell, who's our technical advisor. Bruce is an expert on this belt of rocks. He used to be the professor of codes in Tassie.
Right.
And we'll work through with Bruce to decide what we're going to do, what we're going to target, and how we're going to do it.
Could be a very interesting area. Now, I just want to quickly touch on your capital structure because I think it's important. Because again, our audience out there are pretty keen on, lots of things, but one of them is capital structure. Now, your shares, you're quite tightly held, aren't you? You've got just shy of 42 million shares on issue.
Yeah, 41.8 million shares, correct.
Got some unlisted options, I think about 15 million unlisted options. So you've got a small market cap, you've got cash.
3.6 currently.
6 currently? Okay. Now, board and management own just under 10%. Your top 20 own 45%. So it's quite tightly held, isn't it?
It is. If you look on the ASX, we hardly trade, and when we do, it does move the share price. So what we hope is, as we continue to deliver great results from Orient and other projects, we'll pop onto people's radars. And once we pop onto people's radars, if there's any buying, it'll move the share price up rapidly.
All right. Well, that only leaves me to ask you the final question, which is coming into why should our lovely audience out there sit up and take notice of Iltani Resources right now? And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he's a Scotsman. He's from Glasgow. He's a Glaswegian. Yeah, don't hold that against him.
my accent. I should sound like Billy Connolly, but I left Scotland. I left Glasgow when I was 2 in Scotland when I was 8, so that was a long time ago. Still got my kilt, but why should you buy Iltani Resources? That's a very good question. The only reason I believe that investors looking down this end of the market is they want the companies that are going to generate times 10, times 20, times 30 returns. And to get that sort of return, basically the company has to make a discovery and an economic discovery. We believe we have done that at Orient. We believe as we continue to drill Orient, the system will only get bigger, and we believe that we will be able to pull together in time with more drilling a material JORC resource, silver, lead, zinc, indium that's open pittable. If you look at the companies that we believe are our silver peers in the ASX, you've got Investigator, who've got the Paris project in South Australia. They've got market cap around 50. And you've got Silver Mines, who've got the Bowdens project in New South Wales. They've got a market cap of around 220, 250 million. So if you look at Bowdens, that's an open pit project. If you look at the grades that we're getting from our drilling and the grades that make up their reserve and their resource, we are getting grades from our drilling that are similar to their or better than the raw reserve grades. Our Orient is open pittable, like Bowdens. We're in a really good location to have a mine. We're close to, but not too close to the communities of Herberton and Atherton. We believe that we have the support of both local landowners whose stations we're on. We have the support of the First Nations group.
Oh, that's good.
To get the concentrate to port, we'd either go through Muralian or through Tanzo. So we're in a great location to build a mine. We believe that as we drill, we will get a project that is similar or hopefully better than the Bowden's project in New South Wales. We're $6 million market cap. They're $250 million market cap.
Big call, ladies and gentlemen. Big call. Let's hold him to it.
You can do that. I could be wrong. I probably will be wrong. It won't be the first time or the last time. But you can do the maths and look at what we've done. Look at what we're doing and where we're going. Look at what our peers have got, and you can sort of like see where our trajectory could go.
Okay, and
Plus,
check out. Yeah, go on.
Plus silver. Plug for. I've spoken about Indium, but silver is there's a significant increase in demand coming through for silver from photovoltaic cells. Apparently, each panel is 1 ounce silver, so yeah, it's a good place to be as well.
Yeah, because there's those voltaic panels are going to be becoming more and more common. There's going to be more and more silver demand as we go down. But look, congratulations. June 30th of this year, they listed, so only a few months old, 6 mil market cap. They've got money in the till to keep doing what they're doing. Very tightly held, just under 42 million shares on issue. Ryan, they've got skin in the game, ladies and gentlemen. There's a great presentation that Donald did at the Noosa Mining Conference recently, so you can go to their website.
Bit over enthusiastic in that presentation, but I can't. I believe so deeply in what we're doing in the projects we have. It just comes out. So
he gets very, very excited. But the great thing is he's in lockstep with shareholders, and he really wants everyone to do well, not just himself. So that's something that I got out when we spoke face to face. So I really appreciate you joining us on Making Money Matter today, and I hope to see you in the future when you get some of those results back and you grow the business as you go into 2024. For now, Donald, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for your time, Kerry. Thanks.